Human beings have an 8-second attention span. One of the top pieces of feedback that I give my clients in real time is cut the blank space. I really want you to hold tight on what I'm about to share with you today because it really can make all the difference in your business. 65% of people actually skip ads immediately. Welcome to your favorite advertising podcast, the Win with Paid Ads podcast, where every episode you're going to learn new ways that you can win, not just today, but every day with your ads. So whether you are starting a business from scratch or scaling your business past 8 figures, every one of these episodes will be so helpful for you. So let's jump right in. So today's episode, we are talking all about why people are not watching your ads, why your view rate is terrible, and I'm going to give you a framework and a formula for you to actually hook people so that they watch, okay? So speaking of just strategies that you can learn, like this hook, there's so many other strategies and frameworks that I actually deliver inside the Win with Paid Ads Challenge. So click the link below this video or the podcast or go to ashleybrock.com/challenge. And for 5 days, you're going to learn a new strategy and a new trademarked formula that I built from doing paid ads all day, every day for over the last decade. And by the end of the week, one thing you're going to know for certain at the end of the Win with Paid Ads Challenge is if this ads thing gets you excited. Like you'll be at the end and you'll either know I am absolutely positively scaling my ads and bringing them in-house and this is my person, or you'll say, well, this is a very valuable week and I'm out, and both are a win for me. Because if you think differently about ads and what's possible and how like different types of ads can actually work for you, we will talk about Google ads versus TikTok ads versus YouTube ads versus Meta ads, and when would you use this for your business and what should you say and what are the different places you can put those ads and how much should you spend. All of that we answer inside the 5-day Win with Paid Ads Challenge. So if you are a business that's either just getting started or scaling to multiple 6, 7, or 8 figures, you or someone on your team should absolutely join the challenge. Now you're about to love this episode. It's all about how to hook and hold attention. And I call it a pull. Like people call it a hook. I call it a pull because I literally want people to be pulled in. Like it's almost like a magnet. Like your attention getting skills were so strong, they are pulled and they can't wait to give you attention. Truly. And attention, if you really think about that word, it's not a negative connotation. It's actually such an honor. Like you think about right now, I am so grateful that I have your attention for this podcast because my intention with this attention is for your ascension. It's to change how your business is today and where it can be. And I'm so grateful for that. And so when you think about you actually like being able to hold and grab and capture attention so that people can't wait to hear what you have to say, it can change your whole business. It can change their lives. So I really want you to hold tight on what I'm about to share with you today because it really can make all the difference in your business. So first, I want to talk about, number one, on this episode, I'm going to share why hooks matter so much. 2, what makes a good hook. And 3, I'm going to give you some like good and bad hook examples. And then we're going to talk about tactics that you can specifically use to increase the watch time of your ads. And then I'm going to give you a few, like what do the famous people say? Okay. What do the most known in the industry say about hooks and why this changes everything and what you can do about it. So it's going to be a really good episode. I'm going to rapid fire through this one. All right. So here's why hooks matter so much. So human beings have an 8-second attention span. 8 seconds. And that's from a Microsoft study. So Ashley didn't just make this up. Okay. We have a shorter attention span than a goldfish. Like we truly can get so distracted and be so on to the next so quickly. Now, I'm not saying we have the inability to hold attention past 8 seconds. I'm saying on average in everything that we are doing, whether it's working on a project, having an interview, watching something, or scrolling TikTok, our attention span is 8 seconds. So if you can actually be the person that can hold it for 8 minutes or 8 hours, whatever it is, 8 hours would be a really long time. It makes a really big difference. I think just being self-aware of that our attention span is so low can actually help you really think about how you literally can't waste a second. One of the top pieces of feedback that I give my clients in real time is cut the blank space. I don't want to, hey, I don't want to look at this. I want to go straight to the point as quickly as possible, especially for an ad because our attention span is so limited. And so because of that attention span, you have to figure out how can you create a good hook and capture and pull people in. This is a HubSpot study, and it says that 65% of people actually skip ads immediately. They skip ads how often? 65% of them skip the ads immediately. What does that mean for you? You sure as heck better be the 35% knowing exactly what you're doing to actually pull people in so that they watch. And what matters the most is the first 3 seconds. So the first 3 seconds will actually determine if they stay or scroll. And one of my clients, or one of my actually leaders that I learned from, I'm in her mastermind, she says it's 2 seconds, okay? And she's one of the coolest people on the internet. So if she is so good at creating millions and billions of views, and she says that the first 2 seconds matter, let's go ahead and say the first 2 to 3 seconds are the most important, because in that moment, that's deciding if someone's gonna leave or not. Because you're not just competing for other ads, you're actually competing with cat videos, funny videos, and that dopamine hit that you get from scrolling. And we want to create that for you and your ads so that people actually can't wait to finish watching your video. So what goes into making a good hook? Well, there's a few things. The first thing is the pattern interrupt. They're in a pattern of scrolling. So you have to do something different to be like, woo, watch this. All right, so I have a few strategies for you. But the formula is getting them to stop the scroll by opening a curiosity loop. You have to create something that makes them curious enough that they have to watch what's next, right? So I'm gonna give you some bad and good examples of what that looks like. But one other nugget is not only do you have to interrupt and you have to create a curiosity loop, but you also have to speak directly to them, because it needs to be relevant to your audience so that they're like, oh, yeah, that's for me specifically. Like I said, I'm gonna show you some examples. The next thing is there has to be some bit of emotion or tension, whether it's pain, whether it's humor, whether it's shock or desire. There has to be some sort of emotional element present. And then lastly, we need a quick visual or audible hit. We need something at the beginning, some sort of noise, the text on screen, something happening at the beginning that's like, oh, it's a movie. Why do we watch movies? I'm telling you, if you actually were to sit and watch the next movie that you watch and you looked at how often the cuts and the zooms and the pans and the audio happened, you would actually understand why people watch movies, because it is visually and audibly stimulating. So the more boring you are, the more they're gonna run far. Okay, I just made that up just now, but it's true. You have to have that engagement at the beginning like a movie, okay? So let me give you some good versus bad hooks that kind of take into consideration what I just shared. So a better hook might be something like, here's why your ads aren't working, and I'll show you in less than 30 seconds what to fix. So, okay, I still got that point across in the first 2 to 3 seconds. Why your ads aren't working. Okay, why aren't they? And I'm gonna show you in 30 seconds or less. Okay, now I'm like, okay, I know exactly what I'm getting and how quickly I'm gonna get, right? Another example. If you're running ads and still not making sales, this is for you. It's like, okay, I added some relevancy and I'm not making sales. I could be even more specific and say, if you're not running ads and not making sales, I know exactly what it is. That's something that gives them something to look forward to because they know I'm going to answer that, right? Or like something else you could do as a visual example is if I took a $100 bill and I crumpled it and said, would you throw this away? Well, that's what you're doing when you outsource. Here's what you should do instead. So it's actually creating a visual or audible circumstance and telling people, here's your problem, and there's a little tease of what's coming. Or you could say this one thing is costing you thousands of dollars on your ads every day and you have no idea why it's happening or that it's happening. Again, it's that specificity and opening a loop. Here's a really bad ad. You ready? Or a bad hook. Hi, my name is Ashley, and today I want to talk to you about advertising and what you could do to make it better. It's like, that is so about me and it's boring. Next thing, you could say, in today's video, we're going to discuss the 5 things. It's like, that's still boring. So there's an ad that caught me the other day, and it was like, if you'll give me 20 seconds, I'll show you how you can make $20 million. I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like, okay. But he actually then proved like a case study of a client that he had grown $20 million from. And so it's like those little things and those little nuggets of like, I'm anticipating and I'm going to show you. How can you create curiosity? I was laying in bed and Kyle was watching this video and I was like, he's sucked into this and he doesn't know. Like, he was in it. And I'm like, this video has been going on for 3 minutes. And the guy was like doing all these recipes and formulas for like getting strong and getting swole. And he was like, here's the 5 recipes that could allow you to retain the most muscle. And what you don't realize, this one ingredient is taking everything. And this one ingredient, it can do this, this, and this. And it's like, what is the one ingredient? Like, come on. But he was watching and he couldn't stop watching until he knew. And he kept doing that over and over and over again. So he would open a loop, close a loop, open a loop, close a loop. And so that continual build of curiosity is what allows people to stay. Robert knows this. We made a great ad. It was very well done. But y'all have heard me probably joke about this. And if you haven't, for the first time, this ad that I started with, It said, do you know how a plant has to have the perfect environment to grow? And people were like, no, and also I don't care. So it's like very bad. The hook was awful. It's like they swipe 1 to 2 seconds, don't care about plants, right? So that was one of my worst ads. The watch time was like less than a second. I'm like, how is that even possible? But it's like, do you know how a plant gone? So that hook matters so much. And I keep using that as an example because it was so bad. But here's what's interesting. Someone was like, Ashley, you said that ad was so bad. Why did you leave it running? So here's what I did. I used that ad as a retargeting ad for people that actually knew me. People that are more familiar with you and are interested in what you have to offer, like they're actually truly genuinely interested and they're on the fence, their tolerance for the capturing that hook is actually a little bit, like their tolerance for needing it to be so good is actually lower. So they're actually so sneakily watching you behind the scenes and trying to decide if they like you or not and if you're credible or not and if you're their person, that they actually watch everything all the way through. So it's interesting how that one ad did absolutely terrible going to cold people that didn't know me, but it actually did okay for people that knew me because they were like, oh, this is environment, let me see. And it cut to B-roll pretty quickly. So they were in it. So it's one of those examples where I mentioned this on a previous episode. I spent about 90 to 95% of my ads budget on new people. And the reason for that is because if you have the right product or service and you can communicate that well and you have proof that it works, it does not matter if your product is $100, $1,000, or $100,000, people will buy from you within 7 days of knowing you. That happens for me. It happens for my clients. It is so possible. And not everyone will. Some people will follow along and they'll do the creep and crawl, like watching behind the scenes, behind the curtain for like months. And that's okay too, because some people are slower to buy than others. And that is absolutely okay, right? We all have a different way that we buy and take action on anything. And there's no right or wrong. But what matters is you still can get in front of new people. And then those are the people that get your retargeting ads. And they don't have to be as hooky constantly, right? You can just be like, hey, I know you're watching this video and you're really thinking about the program and you're on the fence. Like still have that sales messaging. It doesn't have to be corny, cheesy, attention grabbing. But I actually got to meet Jasmine Star earlier this week. So she is someone I have just looked up to for so long. She has hundreds of thousands of followers, incredible podcast, 8-figure business owner. And I met with her and I was considering joining her mastermind. And I am absolutely going to do it. It's just a timing thing. We're trying to line up a few dates. And so when I was meeting with her, I asked her, I was like, because she actually, it was one of the coolest moments. I got a like on one of my stories and it said Jasmine Star. And I was like, what? Is this real life? So I go on voice memo. I'm like, hello? I'm like, Jasmine, if this is you, I just want to say thank you for this comment. Like I've looked up to you for so much. If this is really you, just like, I appreciate you and so inspired by you and you're killing it. And then if she didn't come back in voice memo and she's like, hey, Ashley, it's Jasmine. And it was really cool. It led to this conversation. Long story short, I'm really excited to join her mastermind at some point soon. And I asked her, I said, Jasmine, how did you find me? And she was like, it was from this video that you posted. And I was like, what was it? And it was one of my ones that I'd worked with Adley on. So Adley is someone that I'm in a mastermind with. She's the best at like viral organic content. And what I know about content is that if you can create good viral or organic content, it can only make your ads better. And so for my own students that pay to work with me, I pay to be in other rooms so that I can learn so many incredible things that I can then translate and tie into how they can benefit you with ads. So anyway, I created this video at Adley's house in the mastermind. And then that is the video that actually Jasmine Star, she was like, I remember. She's like, you were in this kitchen. It was a big party. And there was this guy and you're pulling money out of his pocket and looking around. And I was like, it just like cut through the noise. I'm like, Jasmine Star just told me that a post that I made cut through the noise and like grabbed her attention. That was the perfect example of doing something that is scroll stopping. You know what I did? I created intrigue and curiosity with a good hook of looking around at a party and like pulling money out of this guy's pocket. And people were like, what is she doing? And they watched the rest of the video. And it was actually one of the best videos I've ever posted organically that did well because it used what we're about to talk about. And so I actually have a Jasmine Star quote in lieu of that conversation that was really cool about what she says about hooks and watch time. And so Jasmine said, and I believe it was one of her podcasts, she said, curiosity is not optional, it's essential. And you're either answering a question or creating one immediately. And the queen of social media and content that I aspire, she is so incredible. And the fact that the thing that stopped her attention allowed us to be connect and allowed me to be findable for her was creating curiosity. So that's just a testament to why opening a loop and creating something people want to watch is so important. Alex Hormozy says that the best way to get someone to consume your content is to tell them what they'll miss out if they don't. And like, you can tell them without telling them. Like, people wanted to know, why is she taking this money out? Is this a joke? Is this real? There's too many people. Jasmine was like, there's too many people in the house. Like, did she pay all these people? She had all these questions, right? And so I was able to do that by allowing them to want to consume, because they had to see what was going to happen next. And that's what you can do with your content and your ads too. In YouTube's Creator Academy, they say that videos with the strongest open loops and immediate value have 50% higher watch time. It is just so important with your videos that people anticipate what's to come. Like, they actually can't wait to see it. And so opening a loop, I do that in speeches. Like, when I actually go on stage, one of the things you're doing is you're opening and closing a loop. And that's what actually allows people to want to continue to listen to your speech or your presentation, even for longer form content, is you're constantly opening and closing loops. And so Meta Ads, I actually looked this up. They say with Meta Ads best practices, it says ads with an early value prop have 35% higher conversion rates. What is the actual value, and how can you add value in the ad? One of the ads that I'm going to record later today with Robert is going to be me like actually giving people an actual tangible ad strategy and then saying, that's just one of the things you're going to learn in the challenge. I'm giving them value, early value prop, and then I'm going to open a loop and say, and there's something else that you can do. In fact, there's 10 more things you're going to do, and you're going to learn all about it exclusively and only in the Win with Paid Ads Challenge. That is opening a loop. So here's some exact specific tactics that you can use. Okay, I'm going to rapid fire through these. Number 1, open a curiosity loop. Tease a payoff, but don't give it away. So for instance, you could say something like, most people get this completely wrong, and here's how to fix it. But let me show you first why it matters. So do you see how I'm like, let me show you why it matters, but like also to come is the answer. Here's another one. Use motion and energy early. In the first 3 seconds, big hand gestures, face being close to camera, or some bold movement is visual stimulation. Next is ask a juicy question. Ever wonder why your ads get absolutely no sales? It's like, oh, I probably know she's going to answer that next. And then another one, jump cut fast. So cutting every 1 to 2 seconds visually is so stimulating. So when you can have something for just a second or two and then a cut to B-roll pretty quickly, that's going to create more visual stimuli. And then what's cool is if you have something and then you cut quickly, and then you have like your face to camera, and then you cut to B-roll again quickly, people are going to anticipate, oh, this is moving. Oh, this is like entertaining. And you're actually teaching people how to treat you and how to treat the content, and actually anticipate value because of the cuts. Mr. Beast, I don't know if y'all know who he is, but Mr. Beast, he has a video editor, and his video editor is known for saying, never let a frame stay static for too long. Movement is the attention. And so I'm also working on, like, we're today going to get some B-roll so that we can cut and have that movement, because the movement creates the attention. Text on screen is a visual hook, so reinforcing the hook visually. One of my best performing ads is me standing in the kitchen, and it just has text, and it's like right in the center of the screen. It just says, could my team do this? And it's like, could my team do my Google ads or YouTube ads, whatever? And I'm like, the answer is yes. It's so simple, but it was a text hook right there at the beginning. And then last but not least is audio cues matter. So starting with a sudden sound that starting with a sound that is sudden, that stands out, like a pop or a ding or a swoosh, can actually create tension and excitement. Veronica made a video yesterday, because I don't know if you missed this, but my husband came home with a cat without talking to me about it. And actually, it's not a cat, it's a kitten that requires being bottle fed. And so he did not talk about it. I was just on a call with a future prospect, and all I see is like this 4-year-old like holding a kitten. And I'm like, hello, cat. And I was like, oh my God, there's a cat here. And my son's like, we got a new kitty. And I'm like, did we? So that was very interesting, the whole story, but Veronica actually put it together very well. So you should go to @adswithashley on Instagram and go watch this video that Veronica made. But it actually did really well organically. But she used so many sounds and cuts and zooms. Like, it was actually a movie that people could not wait to like finish watching. And so like we watched people watch it at our VIP date, and they were just dying, like laughing. It's like, you want people to actually, like, if you laugh once in the first 10 seconds, don't you think you're going to want to keep watching in case you could laugh again? Like, I know that's so cheesy, but people love laughter. They love enjoying something they're consuming. And because she was so good at creating those little moments consistently, like I watch people laugh, and they laughed again, and it's because you teach people how to treat you even with your ads. So audio cues matter. She did a few like fun sounds in there that just kept it really entertaining. So last but not least, few things and we'll wrap up. Better hooks obviously equal better watch time, better relevance score, and lower ad costs. And that ultimately leads to more sales. So you actually can, with your ads, go look at your watch time and it'll be like, oh, here's exactly where most people are dropping off. And so I've been able to like do my own ads and work with my clients and say, well, they're like, what should I do with my ads? I'm like, well, have you watched your watch time and saw at what second people dropped off on your ad? I'd go look at second number 17 and be like, oh, that's where they dropped off. What did you say there? What did we do? And how can we fix that? And just remember, this is so important. You don't have to pay more for your ads, because if you can get people to pay more attention, you'll get more out of every dollar that you spend. And so greater hooks give small businesses an unfair advantage because it allows you to be not boring. And sometimes the bigger brands can be boring. You can be the one that stands out. So don't pay more. Get people to pay more attention to your ads by having more value, better hooks, so that you can have people that actually want to watch your ads. So I hope that was helpful. And I'll tell you right now, that's just those few little nuggets will likely be very helpful for you that you can immediately implement now. And also, when you join the Win with Paid Ads Challenge, I have a new framework, a trademarked framework that I explain each of the 5 days. So day 1 is messaging, which is what you say. Day 2, which is setting, which is where you say it. Day 3 is targeting, which is who you say it to. Day 4 is testing, which is how you improve it. And day 5 is scaling and profiting, which is ultimately probably why you're here listening, is because you want to scale and have more profit and more impact and just more fun in business. And I'll tell you, business is so much more fun when you're not wondering where your clients are coming from. Like when new people find you every day, it is so freeing. You can actually do what you love even better because you're not stressing about will people find you. You can become findable every single day. And that is exactly why I created the Win with Paid Ads Challenge. So I hope I get to see you. You can click the link below this video or go to ashleybrock.com/challenge, and I'll see you soon.